Can we all stand and say the pledge, like back there in the corner?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Here's mine. You got this or you want? You want it like this or you want it?
Roll call.
I use.
Just tell me, make sure I wait on you.
Bob,
Yes.
Scott.
Here.
Virgil,
Yes.
Brian,
Yes.
Mike.
Yes. I need a motion to approve the minutes of last month's meeting plus the executive session meeting, the finance report.
Second.
Bob,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Virgil,
Yes.
Brian,
Yes.
Mike.
Yes. Here yet, has he? Okay, is there anybody gonna give the fire report for Richards? Okay.
Hang on, let me scroll through. The month of June, we had. All right, look ahead of time. 81 calls for service. Everything's going good. We're not asking for anything this month. That's all we got.
That's it?
Yep, that's all we got.
Butch,
Short and sweet.
EMS?
We had a total dispatch of 95 calls, total calls of Tilton 56. 37 during the daytime, 36 of them covered, one drop. Night calls 13, covered 13, dropped none. Total second out calls, 5 covered 2, dropped 3. Total of Oakwood 29. Mutual aid other than Oakwood 11, covered 9, dropped 2. And we had 3 transfers. Not asking for anything.
Making any headway on that skid?
Still waiting on that third quote to come in. It's going to be lower than the lowest one that I had already talked to you about. I do know that's going to be lower than that.
Public Works.
Got routine trash pickup throughout the town, routine cleaning and maintenance on buildings and restrooms, help get items up to the events at Thomas Park. We had trash cleanup and we also had storm cleanup. Had 25 Julies, 2 after-hour calls and 12 work orders. And the only thing we're asking for is we had a truck go down, the PTO pump went out and they got a price from Ron's, I think for $27.90 to repair the truck.
Get a motion to buy that pump.
So make a motion.
Scott, Ryan. Bob,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Virgil,
Yes.
Brian,
Yes.
Mike.
Yes. Yeah, one more thing.
You want to take it? I'm gonna take care of that.
Huh? You're gonna take,
care of the other one.
you're gonna take care of it?
Real quick though, the touch on the trash cleanup real quick. We had 138 senior call in for pickups. That equated to about 23 dump truck loads from the seniors. We had a total of 9 employees working that day, with about 5 to 6 volunteers doing ID checks. 81 residents visited us the day of the cleanup, and we had 7 30-yard roll-offs that were filled during the day of the cleanup. The other item of business for the Public Works Department is, we have a vacancy. We'd like to propose to the board to hire Cameron Ward for full-time Public Works laborer.
Make a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Second. I did say. You already jumped me, but I ain't gonna say nothing.
Bob,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Virgil,
Yes.
Brian.
Yes.
Mike.
All right. After that storm, I'd like to thank everybody in the village, especially the employees, for the job they did. I'd also like to put a shout out to Ameren. What they was dealing with, they did an excellent job getting people back on, except for the ones that had personal lines down. But I just want to make sure you get a shout out to everybody. Police Department, Phil.
For the month of June, we had 336 total calls for the month. 20 arrests were made at 17 PM tow, 17 PM tows for the month. Officers issued 80 citations, 25 warnings were issued during that time. As far as ordinance violations, we gave out 3 ordinance warnings and 3 violations were issued as well. Also, I attached a couple charts for you guys to peruse. We had placed the new speed limit signs on Myers and East Ross Lane. Most of what they're showing was Myers. The average speeds daily were ranging approximately 21 to 22 mile an hour overall. And then for East Ross Lane, speeds were averaging about 35.8 miles an hour, somewhere in there for the month, or for a couple weeks there that we've had it out there. So
Everybody's wondering what he's talking about. We have a digital speed limit sign that records how fast you're driving down the street. But this sign also collects data and allows us to find out how many cars are going up and down the street. And at what time of day that if you happen to give a complaint of speeding, it kind of gives the officers an idea of what time of day the speeding is happening. So that way they can schedule and around that area to be there to take radar. It doesn't record personal vehicles or anything like that. It just records the speed and they collect the data off that, and that's what they're using to determine when to go set up radar.
Seems to be helping though, because they're not speeding.
How do you go about deciding where you put it in?
We've done it on a couple of places where there's been just natural people complaining, but we had a gentleman about 2 months ago came in and complained about a certain area. They went and set it up. And what they found was they really recorded nobody speeding. So he was able to take that data back to that individual and show them that there's really no speeding, that what could possibly be happening is between the motorcycles and the loud trucks, that they're hearing the noise of them revving up, and it gives the illusion that they're actually going faster than what they really are.
So based on a request, like let's say if I want to get one down by my house, I could have that done.
If you feel that you got some speeding going on in your neighborhood, all you got to do is contact the chief and he'll work with you and give you an idea when he can set it up. And if you wish to see the data, just let him know and he'll get the data back to you.
All right, great.
If I make this could probably be made available on the website.
What, like a request form?
No, the data.
Oh, the data. Oh, yeah.
Thing of it is, the website, we're constantly updating and updating it. So once I see no problem in
Yeah,
that.
but like this one right here, if that's a people on the public one will take a view on that, we can see the data.
yeah, and surprisingly also on the top of the chart too, it shows you that Myers is averaging 606 vehicles a day.
Yeah, 10,000 vehicles a month or that week. That's crazy.
With the bridge was.
That's 10,000 vehicles for,
Well, I guess.
yeah, for a couple weeks. You can see that number when the bridge opens up.
Bill, did you want to introduce Lane?
Oh, yes, and new officer Lane Weston's here to be sworn in by the board tonight.
Raise your hand.
All right.
Eileen Weston,
I, Lane Weston,
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
solemnly swear to support the Constitution of the United States
and the state of Illinois,
and the state of Illinois,
and I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of office
the duties of office
of the Village of Tilton
of the village of Tilton,
to the best of my ability.
that's my ability. They're on vacation, so.
And then
Phil, would you like to bring up the Carnegie towing agreement?
Also, yeah, I was just gonna say, we've attached an agreement with Carnegie's for our towing and storage of vehicles within the department. I believe it's already been to Dave Westner for approval. So it should be where it needs to be for Carnegie's to review and sign, and as well as you, Mayor.
It wasn't Dave Wesner. Dave had a couple, or our city attorney, he had a couple suggestions. Carnegie had no problem making the changes, so we'll go ahead and I need a motion to accept that agreement with Carnegie. I'll make a motion.
A second.
Bob,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Virgil,
Yes.
Ryan,
No.
Mike.
Yes.
Sewer department. Chad?
We ain't got a whole lot. We've been dealing with some lift stations and stuff from the storm, pumps going out, things like that. Been trying to get all that corrected. They making good progress on the sewer plant. Other than that, I don't have anything.
How did it turn out the other day? You called me when that lift.
They got the connection done. I've got all the bills and stuff for that, but everything worked out good. We got everything done, got all the stations back up and running. So we're good to go.
Well, turn all that time and everything into the, treasurer's not here right now, so turn it into a tip.
I got it all for TJ when he gets back. He can.
Okay. That's all you got?
Yep.
IT department.
Still working on trying to clean up some of the Ethernet and IT stuff around City Hall here. The traffic camera is operational, waiting for TJ to come back so we can get it mounted up here on Fifth Street Bridge. Working on getting the IDs out still. Police already have theirs, EMS have theirs. I got to work on Public Works and Fire Department and Village Hall. Help get the stuff moved around City Hall for the painters and assist Public Works after the storm. Had a few small issues after the storm with the police's camera systems. We got that resolved. Helping the police department with the signs and getting the data and everything so they can get whatever they need. Still working on getting a solution to get internet to the sewer plant and working on getting permission to use the tower at Southgate for his SCADA system for the lift stations to communicate with the sewer plant.
Right. Treasurer report.
City administrator. City administrator.
Oh,
City
Skip
administrator.
me.
well, I'm sure she's gonna probably do both of them. Somebody is.
Yeah, I will. Okay, so we just completed grant paperwork for the disaster we had. That was kind of major. We finished our insurance renewal, which is not easy. We just finished that and sent it in. I mean, lots of meetings. I've been meeting with department heads for job descriptions and suggestions on personnel policy. And after I have met with everybody, I want to have one big employee meeting so we can all kind of get on the same page, or as many people they can be there as possible. Definitely department heads. Another thing we need to do is name Cassidy as the authorized agent for IMRF, because she's taken that completely over. And I'm still getting all the emails. She needs to be the registered agent.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Bob,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Virgil,
Yes.
Ryan,
Yes.
Mike.
Yes.
Or the treasurer too.
I mean, we put the finance report on here, but other than that, she didn't have anything special.
Okay. Village engineer, Tom.
We have some pay estimates and some IEPA disbursement requests for contract day, which is Midwest, that's the pump stations and all the sewer work. Pay estimate number 6 for $750,261.52. And the IEPA disbursement request number 7, $790,076 and a penny. The disbursement includes both pay estimate number 6 plus the engineering that was submitted for the month. Want to do these one at a time? Okay. We should get a motion authorizing the mayor to go ahead and sign them.
So
Scotty second, Scotty seconded.
Bob,
yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Virgil,
Yes.
Ryan.
Yes.
Yes.
Contract B, which is a sewer plant, Curry Construction, pay estimate number 21, $408,825.55. And IEPA disbursement request number 21, $408,825.55. Need authorization for the mayor to sign those.
So,
Bob,
yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Virgil,
Yes.
Ryan.
Yes.
Mike.
Yes.
We're good.
Thanks, Tom.
You done, Tom? Okay, I'm gonna back up here a minute. I have asked Vanessa Sims to fill my vacancy on this board. And I'd like to appoint her tonight as of right now, and then we'll carry on with the meeting. Back at the beginning.
See, I can move it.
Second. I was waiting. You should back up all her paperwork to do it.
There we go. Okay, the motion.
I did.
Mike made a second.
Bob,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Virgil,
Yes.
Ryan,
Yes.
Mike.
Yes.
Come on in.
That's where we're at.
She's ready, buddy.
It's for the year.
I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I would faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of village trustee
of the office of village trustee. What's that?
You're gonna have to just go this way. That's probably a whole lot easier for you. I'll save you the trouble.
New name tag too, so you're not Billy anymore.
Congratulations, welcome. Now you got to see how it kind of goes. Okay, mosquito abatement agreement with the Danville Township. Need a motion to accept for $2,500 a year.
Don't move.
Virgil,
Yes.
Bob,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Vanessa,
Yes,
Ryan,
Yes.
Mike.
Yes. Sorry, coming from.
I know. That was typing, Virgil. Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, we got a few annexations, so what I'll do is I'll read where the annexation is, and then we need a motion after each one.
Okay.
First one is Vermillion County, Illinois, Thomas property, 1546 Greenwood Cemetery Road. Everybody thought it was them, but for some reason the clerk put them back outside the city again. So we need a motion.
Second.
Bob,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Virgil,
Yes.
Vanessa,
Yes.
Brian,
Yes.
Mike.
Yes.
Second one, Thomas property, 10 Excavator Lane. That's the road that goes back to his property.
I make the motion, we annex 10 Excavator Lane.
Bob,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Virgil,
Yeah.
Vanessa,
Yes.
Brian,
Yes.
Mike.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Anderson property out here on Catlin Road, 14498 Catlin Tilton Road.
Motion to annex 14498 Calhoun Tilton Road.
Section 96. Section 96.
That's the second one.
Oh, my fault. I was one ahead. Thanks, Tom.
Or Bob,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Virgil,
Yes.
Vanessa,
Yes.
Brian,
Yes.
Mike.
The Hammond property, 14496 Catlin Tilton Road.
Motion to annex 14496 Calhoun Tilton Road.
Bob,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Virgil,
Yes.
Vanessa,
Yes.
Brian,
Yes.
Mike.
Yes.
We're good.
Okay, we got some ordinances to go over. Has everybody had an opportunity to read them? All right, first ordinance, we're amending chapter 217 of the village code pertaining to property maintenance, mowing. Need a motion.
Who moved? Second.
Bob,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Virgil,
Yes.
Vanessa,
Yes.
Brian,
Yes.
Mike.
Yes.
Does anybody need an explanation of what this one's about by any chance? The wildflower nature area. It sounds hilarious, but the problem is, everybody knows I worked for the city of Danville for 40 years, and there was actually a piece of property in North Danville who had officially had their complete yard designated as a hummingbird and bee sanctuary. Needless to say, the city of Danville could not go in and mow the property. So the only path that you could see through the weeds was the sidewalk going to the front of the house. That's what this does. It stops it from happening here. You can have a butterfly garden, you can have a hummingbird garden, but you cannot designate your whole yard or have anybody designate your whole yard as such. And that's where the nature area also comes in because of the hummingbird. So chapter 217 of Village Code pertaining to property maintenance amendment, wildflower nature area, I need a motion.
I got a question.
Sure.
How's that gonna affect Leedy's trailer park? That's forever. You don't.
Leedy's property out there, the one you're talking about, is designated agriculture, is zoned. Agriculture.
But you don't mow it on account of pheasants forever.
You don't mow it anyway.
But what I was gonna do, what I want to do is I'm gonna try to contact Pheasants Forever and find out if that's actually an official sanctuary,
Yeah.
or if there was a sign put up just to keep from having to mow.
Assuming that we accept.
No, I know a guy that's on Pheasants for Other, and I worked with him in Champaign, and he told me it was.
I still want to hear from Pheasants Forever.
All right.
Because as everybody's noticed, all the other developers and everybody that owns property on Georgetown Road is mowing, and they're going to be, they have to pertain to the 6-inch grass ordinance. He's no exception unless that is an official designation. And we'll get a hold of Pheasants Forever to find out if it's actually official. So I need a motion. If no more questions.
Know about the wildfire?
Flower.
Flower.
Got it.
Now there's vote.
Mike's got it.
You can say it. Like that.
You want a second? Bob,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Virgil,
Yes.
Vanessa. Yes. Ryan,
Yes.
Mike.
Yes. What's next, Mayor?
The next ordinance amendment is chapter 295 of the village code pertaining to golf carts, and utility terrain vehicles. The original golf cart ordinance did not cover everything that we see on the roads today.
Watch it.
Huh?
I knew you were talking about me.
Oh, it actually wasn't you, Gary. Sorry.
Right, Bill?
I need a motion.
Got the top left you already.
I need a motion.
Need faster cars.
You get some air in that thing. I'll make the motion. Second.
You got a second, Bob?
Yes.
All right. Bob,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Virgil,
Yes.
Vanessa,
Yes.
Ryan,
Yes.
Mike.
Yes. What's next?
Ordinance amending chapter 203 of the village code pertaining to the Tilton ATV park.
Side by side and stuff.
I'll make the motion.
Bob,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Virgil,
Yes.
Vanessa. Yes. Ryan,
Yes.
Mike.
Yes.
Ordinance adding chapter 204 to the village code pertaining to parks and playgrounds.
Make the motion.
Bob,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Virgil.
Yeah.
Vanessa. Yes. Ryan,
Yes.
Mike.
Yes.
Okay. Enterprise Zone Memorandum of Understanding. Has everybody had an opportunity to read that? Okay. What I would like is for a motion that once we come to an agreement within that memorandum with the city of Danville for the enterprise zone, to be able to go ahead and sign that agreement.
They got an estimated time frame. They got an estimated time frame.
We had to wait until we got that inspection group and they've been informed. So now we're moving forward with it. So it should happen pretty quick, right?
I think they need to amend their map though, because I think they wanted to add some extra parcels that weren't in, that they wanted to add for development purposes to help them out a little bit. So they're supposed to get back to us with that
And
too.
we had no problem with it, but they forgot to put it on the map.
Yeah.
Their own stuff.
I'll second.
Bob,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Virgil,
Yes.
Vanessa. Yes. Ryan.
Yes.
Mike.
Yes.
I need a motion to hire the Farnsworth Group, who is going to do the inspections within, building inspections within the enterprise zone. Once we sign the agreement
For our stuff. For our stuff.
for us.
And how's that being? Is it paid by inspection or?
As if anybody that wants to use the enterprise zone, we'll call Farnsworth. They come in, they do the electrical, HVAC, do all the inspections, and we pay per as they come in and work.
For inspection.
Yes. But it's only in the enterprise zone.
They'll probably review the plans to review the plans. There's a code.
Well, actually,
Review the plans and then they would do the inspection once construction started. So they would probably submit plans to us and we give them the Farnsworth.
I think the plans are submitted to the enterprise zone administrator, who is Logan with Danville.
So then Farnsworth will get a copy of the plans.
Yeah, they would too.
they'd get a copy, but
So
they're
they're gonna
not.
redo the code review in Danville.
That's how the enterprise zone, that's how I understand.
That's
Just for the inspection.
Let me look.
That's why, the way the memorandum stated was, we need the, was, well, you know, Tom, it was for inspections.
Okay.
Okay, they do all the reviews because the reason we wanted to go with the Farnsworth Group is because if we had our own inspectors go in there, they could question it stop the construction, then go to the review through Danville.
Okay.
So that's why we want Farnsworth Group, because they do this professionally. That way there, we don't hopefully have to have a problem with any of our projects being halted.
So when their construction drawings are prepared, they send those to Danville then? Okay. And then,
They're the sole administrator of this, so Farnsworth's just our inspectors.
as, sometimes I know that they would do the, review the plans to make sure. it's in code.
We might need to too, because we've got to review all the permits that they're supposed, or we're supposed to gather everything and give it to them. But this talks about like permits and stuff, and they have to give them to us.
We can talk about that outside.
Yeah.
But Farnsworth Group, to answer your question, they spoke with Logan about what their job duties are. So my understanding was they was good with it. And the only thing we have to officially do now is once they get back with us is to sign an agreement for them to come in and do the inspections. I'd like to have that motion.
We'll make a motion.
Second,
I'll second.
Bob,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Virgil,
Yeah.
Vanessa. Yes. Brian.
Yes.
Mike.
Yes.
Doctor's office agreement. Need a motion on that for him?
I spoke to him today about it.
Oh, did you?
He's in agreement with it, so.
Well, the buyer agrees to pay the seller a total sum of $120,000 at $1,000 a month. The way I take the agreement.
But he has the right to buy it out anytime he wants.
I got it. Oh.
You got it.
I don't know if anybody's saying.
Bob.
Yeah.
Mike did. Scott,
Yes.
Virgil,
Yes.
Vanessa. Yes. Brian.
Yes.
Mike.
Yes.
For anybody that hasn't noticed, we've been trying to do some painting in here and get it cleaned up a little bit. We have a quote. Hey Tiff, can you read it? Cause mine's fuzzy.
Yeah, I can read it. 9,027.41 for the first quote. The second one is 9,596.61. And those were both from Myers Carpet Weavers. And then Danville Flooring gave us a quote for the same thing for 8,169.82.
Did that incorporate that hallway?
No, they haven't given me another quote on the hallway, but I think it's gonna be less than $1,000
Oh, I'm sure.
because it's 36 by 4.
The plan is to do laminate coming in the door all the way to the wall, a laminate space piece coming all the way down. Separate the carpet out. So that way there, the walk area to get to the seating and is laminate instead of the carpet. And then laminate down the hallway and new carpet in the conference room. Yeah,
I make a motion to accept the Danville carpet. Wholesale.
I'll second.
Bob,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Virgil,
Yes.
Vanessa. Yes. Brian.
Yes.
Mike.
there a Ben Leroy here with Solar Field.
Good evening. Should I stand here or move up there or?
Podium.
I'm gonna give him one of these.
I don't know.
Yeah, they'll pick it up on that one down there.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Hi, good evening, Mayor and Village Board. Thanks for having me. My name is Ben LeRoy. I am a land use consultant for a developer who is looking at a couple projects here in Tilton. And so I've been in touch with Lori a little bit about your village ordinance and learning a little bit about how to develop in the village here. And so wanted to come tonight for two reasons. First, just to briefly introduce myself and my client and the kind of work we do. And second, to see if there's any information that I can provide to you at this early stage or that you can provide to me that'll help us build something mutually beneficial. To start with, my client, Gale Technology, is a behind-the-meter commercial and industrial solar developer. What that means, behind-the-meter solar, is basically we have a number of different development concepts that rely on solar installations that are on site that power some other primary use on the site. It might be a commercial use or an industrial use. It sort of looks like a solar field like you might see in some communities that's generating power for sale to the grid, because we do have fairly large solar fields because we target energy intensive primary uses. But we keep all our power behind the grid. We don't generate power for sale into the grid. So we're not a power plant, we're not a power company. Instead, we rely on this business model of trying to have on-site power generation to provide stable, secure, reliable power rates for our clients or for our tenants. Price of energy is going up. A lot of businesses are getting a little more price sensitive about energy. So this is a niche that we target to try and attract tenants by giving them that peace of mind, that stability with their power prices. What are some of our primary uses that we have? Sometimes we do climate controlled warehouses. Sometimes we'll do something that's a little more retail oriented. Sometimes we'll typically have at least some sort of data center on site that can be a very intensive use that helps expand internet access and helps meet the needs of other business and industrial clients in the community. The site that we are looking at, we have a couple sites that we're looking at in Tilton. The one that we're sort of furthest ahead on is 60 West Ross Lane. So this is on Ross, just north of the Toyota dealership down there. There's a kind of a big grassy field. So that's the site we're farthest along on. I've talked a little bit with Lori a little bit about that, and a little bit about the application. Oh, was I talking with Tiffany? Oh, I apologize.
That's okay.
I'm sorry.
That way there we can blame Lori.
Yeah, what's that?
Then we can blame Lori.
There we go. That's my plan all along. So I appreciate Tiffany educating me as I've been learning a little bit more about your ordinance. And so that's sort of part one of why I'm here, is just to introduce that what our concept is, the fact that we are looking at that site in particular. We don't have a primary use in mind yet. We're still learning about the community and trying to figure out what our best approach is for that site. So for part two, I did want to just open myself up for any questions or any information you have to share. I understand we'll likely be going through a rezoning process. That's my role in this process. I'm not an expert on the technical aspect of solar generation. I'm not the real estate finance guy. I'm not the broker doing the deals with the tenants. I'm the one who handles the land use approvals. And so I'm especially interested to learn anything or to take any questions from you about navigating your land use approval process as we work towards a project that we think is, of course, going to be beneficial for us, but also provides a benefit to the village and the community as well, by hopefully meeting a village need with that primary use up front in front of our.
Well, I was just curious, who would be responsible for the land cleanup if the solar panels get broke during a hailstorm and all that? And the reason I'm saying that is, it leaches lead and cadmium and all that, right?
Yeah, so there is a little bit familiar with this. Again, I don't have all the technical expertise about site cleanup, but this is a question we've dealt with in other communities we've worked in. There is the firm is insured for weather acts, disaster acts, cleanup, things like that. We have been in communities where that's been a particular concern, and so perhaps if we're seeking something like a special use permit or some sort of land use approval that requires conditions, we're certainly open to working with the village to negotiate conditions or accept conditions that make sure that our site is kept in a clean state and can be returned in a clean state if and when the use of.
So your company would be fully responsible for the panel. And the reason I'm asking is because once a panel is broke, it's considered hazardous waste, which also means it takes special permitting, special transport, and a special place to dump it.
So I can't speak to the disposal aspect, but certainly, I appreciate you raising that concern, and when I bring this back to, our principal is Tony Grillo, he's out of Thomasboro, just north of Champaign. So when I'll bring this back to Tony, and I'll say that one thing we need to be prepared with when we come to speak to the village is to make sure that we have documentation addressing concerns about cleanup of hazardous waste, making sure that we're able to walk you through what our plan is and what our, how we live up to our responsibilities.
Well, there's this different, I don't know what kind of solar panels you're gonna put up or what you're planning on putting up. I can't remember totally the name of the gas, but it's something like, sodium fluoro, or sodium fluoro oxide. Anyway, 17,000 times worse than carbon dioxide, which is why solar panels become popular, because we're trying to save the planet. So if that's the case, then why would we want to put solar panels in at 17,000 times worse than a car?
Like I said, I can't speak to the technical aspects of that. I'm the land use approval person, but I can certainly, as we work towards an application here, I'm happy to pass that along to Tony and make sure that we're able to just speak to the pollution aspect of this.
I would suggest getting plans together, and the process is to go to the zoning board with it, and then they meet, and then they'll go through and give a recommendation to the board at that point. So get your plans together with what you're wanting and present it to the zoning board.
Certainly. I imagine Tiffany's my staff contact for that.
I would say yes.
Excellent.
You're around maintenance. I mean, I think a lot of people watch Channel 3, but I seen something on there the other day. This guy's making a killing because he's taking his goats to solar farms because they have no way to maintain or mow.
What?
He's taking his goats to solar farms because they cannot get mowers in there. So the weeds and everything grow up. So he's taking his goats there and he's making $2,000 little solar plate. So his goats go in there and eat. He don't have to feed them.
So, if you know the goat guy, put him in touch with me. We actually have a couple projects going up in Danville. The one that recently received approval is on East Lynch Road. So that's certainly something that folks here locally keep an eye on as construction goes on, as we begin our operations. I know on that site, there is a pollinator-friendly mix planted. It doesn't, the maximum height of that is, I believe, 12 to 18 inches. It's not, doesn't sound quite like the unkempt house in Danville you were talking about earlier. We do have a mowing contract as well for, for edges. Certainly the exterior of the site. We're familiar with a variety of screening treatments. We're happy to sort of dance to whatever tune Kelly wants in terms of screening, landscaping, things like that.
Type of fence.
That fence, yeah, exactly. We've been in communities, we typically fence the field anyway, and do some plantings in front of it, but we've had communities where they wanted a completely opaque fence. We've had communities where they wanted something that has some transparency because they don't like the look of the opaque, and then we do some things in front of it. So, very, very flexible on that aspect of it. I know we are across from, I was at the site before I came to the meeting today. There are a few houses that face the site. So there is certainly, if there's concern among residents in that neighborhood about view or aesthetics, we're very happy to either hear from the board, or if the board, we're happy to talk to the neighbors directly. Happy to make sure that we're being a good neighbor visually and aesthetically.
Is that solar farm out by GM? Is that ours? No.
Yeah, the one with the GM, everybody needs to understand the reason that was a pretty good place for it, because it went on the old slag heap that had to be capped with clay to keep it from causing a pollution problem. Solar field was perfect for it because that's about the only thing you can stick on that.
It's owned by a company called Amoresco.
There's no more questions. Thank you.
All right. Thank you all very much. We'll be back in touch with the ZBA once we have our plans and our application ready. Thank you.
Here's the extra hallway, 1,700 with labor and materials.
That's not bad. Okay, is there Luke Herring here?
Yeah, hey. I don't know if you guys know or not, but I solved a lot of the issues. I think me and Tiffany had a meeting Tuesday and we talked for about an hour and then I think we did through a lot of it. Most of the concern I had was for the Central Park area, the residents concerning the marijuana place coming in. A lot of people felt like they were blindsided by it. I always knew there was going to be one there. I knew Paul wanted one there. I knew he sued the state to try to get a consumption lounge license and he didn't get it. So it didn't surprise me when Danville turned it down. Tamer. I have no problem. I'm pro marijuana. I'm a professional Union stagehand. I love music. But some of the neighbors are concerned about the smell. They're concerned about, I know if you have a big band there, it's going to be loud, right? I work at the Assembly Hall. So some of the neighbors have concerns about that. And, Dave first said it was going to be a members only thing. And I talked to Tiffany and I was like, well, how's it going to be members only if you're having concerts? And she's like, well, that's a good question. So she said she would ask someone about that. I don't know if she heard back yet. You haven't. So yeah, I felt like, maybe the board should have put on the village website, hey, we're going to talk about this new business coming in. Does anyone have any concerns? And a lot of people just was like, wow, they snuck that through. And, we just felt like we was blindsided by it. So that's my concerns about the marijuana thing. The other thing on the other Central Park area, a lot of residents would like to see a fire truck back at Station 2. She told me the concerns with the station's in terrible shape, mold and all that. And I suggested, hey, maybe we do a huge concert and a fundraiser and let's start raising some money to get a new station. She thought that was a great idea. I commend her for that. I'd like to, if you listen to your live stream, you can't hardly hear any questions from anyone in the crowd. And I told her I would, I have my own sound and lighting company. I would donate some stuff, but I looked at your interface over there and that's not going to work. So I don't know, maybe talk.
It was just an issue we had for one board meeting. All the rest of them, if you go back in the history, you can hear.
Okay, I listened to 3 of them and you can hear all 3 of them.
Well, that's because the people in the crowd didn't listen. They have to come vote in.
Okay.
That's what that was. But yeah,
Oh,
if you sit back in the back row, no, it's not designed to pick you up.
all right, great. And, when you was talking about Bill, when you was talking about the annexation, and there were some people this week that live on King Street. If you're coming over the bridge and you hang left on 14th Street, they got a letter saying that they're not Tilton no more and they got to use a Danville address. Do you know anything about that?
They should have gotten a letter saying they were Tilton now and not Danville anymore.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
that's what everybody's been getting.
I was
these
like,
last-
people contact me all the time about that.
Me,
me,
and
Let them know that it
Had
didn't
a
come
large
from us.
problem with the postmaster and the post office.
yeah, several years.
All this has been changed for years and they still, Brian's address was Danville and he's actually in Tilton.
Mine still is.
Well, the hardware
Never
shop
sent you a
was
letter.
Danville for
Never
years
got a letter
too,
yet.
so yeah. So that's the only thing I had. I'm happy for the ambulance department and the cleanup was awesome. TJ and the crew did a great job. I think there's a few other guys that have questions. I don't know if you want to open it up now, some people from Central Park, or you want to wait, or
No, but we're cool. So somebody else has got a question.
is it, Johnny, you got a question?
Yeah.
Come on up, man.
That's just state your name for the record.
Hi, John Bain. I live over here on 1733 South Jefferson. You guys are doing the project. You guys are doing an awesome job. I've been there since '84. Been doing cleanup at that area since '84. Tilton has never touched it. Never touched it. Never went over there, mowed, nothing. I've done it all. I've done it all. I talked to Dave before he left. I asked him, how could I retrieve this little piece of land? He says he's worried that I might build on that because of the sewer. I promised him I would not build nothing. I just want the land. That's it. He said he'll bring it to the board, and I haven't heard nothing.
This is the first I've heard of it.
I'm looking.
Well, I talked to, I believe Tiffany was in the room with me when I talked to him.
Hold on, I'm looking your property up. The problem with that is we've got a big sewer easement there, don't we, Tom?
Sewers, there's 3 sewers.
Is that the
in
one by
there.
the walk bridge?
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Driveway.
Just like I said,
You can't
I won't build on it. I won't build on it. And if you guys ever need to get to that, I will give you guys all rights to get to it. Just,
If I'm mistaken, ain't there a building right there, a garage or something like that?
no, it's just a straight. There's nothing there, nothing there.
There's a, are you the one on the east or the west side?
I'm on the east.
You got the driveway that comes off the road? Goes in-
No, I see, that's another thing I told Gabe. I know that they gotta get in there. I would leave that alone. I would let them where they can get into their driveway. Just let me have that other piece of land right there. That's all I asked for. You know, I've been taking care of it.
I can't find it.
And I promise, I wouldn't build like a garage or, a fence around it where you guys can't get to it if you guys need to.
If the village, I think if the village was to vacate that, you'd still maintain a
We
utility.
got to have an easement for the sewer.
For the whole thing. I mean, you wouldn't allow anything to build on it.
I wouldn't build on
There's an easement across the street from my house on Kelly's property. And yeah, so.
My question is, whose responsibility of the walk bridge go to?
Well, the walk bridge has been taken out.
Yeah, it's
it.
gone.
It's gone.
I'm saying though.
Yeah, it's gone.
But there had that walk
We
bridge,
still own
did they
that.
take out the foundation and all
Yes.
There's 2 cement pillars still in the creek. Whatever.
No, they took that out. They took that out. Yes, sir, yes.
Well, I'll tell you what, being I'm kind of blindsided by this, if Dave spoke to you, I'll get with Dave and ask him what he said to you,
Okay.
and then we'll get back with you.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
I guess what's the benefit?
You know what, can we get your number though? Because that's, I mean, that's
Yes,
the whole thing.
absolutely.
Okay, because we can't get people
Yes,
back.
I-
who
yes,
wanna ask
yes,
questions.
217-799-0419.
Yeah, that's the only thing honestly, that's the only thing I can do, because if he's made an agreement with you and all that, I'm not gonna.
Right.
Even say no.
Thank you.
Let
Thank
me
you.
get with him.
And I appreciate you guys get with me, and I've been taking care of it. That's all I ask, I take care of it. I've been taking care of it since '84.
Well, since I
know?
took this spot, I found out Dave said a lot of stuff, to a lot of people.
Right, yes, yeah.
All I could do is go back and ask him.
Okay, I appreciate that, so thank you.
Anybody else?
I'm thinking of one more.
I just wanted to say, I appreciate the street department on helping me tear down the house in my property, 1708 South Jefferson Street. Did very well on that. Right, Mark.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, back in the corner.
Can I stand back here?
Yeah, you can stand back here.
My name's Lana Curry. I live on South Monroe Street. Do you have any idea when they're going to get the bridge done?
No, I understand. The thing of it is, you would not believe the problems they ran into with that bridge. First off, they hit a fiber optic that they didn't know was there. Well, then in the process of tearing the south side of the bridge out, they found out the material underneath there was no good. So they had to dig the bridge out and replace it with rock and compact it to be able to have a suitable base to put the concrete on. Well, then our engineer found a flaw on the north side that the engineering firm in Champaign has got to pay for to rectify because they created a dip. But they're moving along with it. So in actual time, Tom would probably be the closest.
What do you say, Tom?
Throw me under the bus.
Be careful, Tom. There's a lot of people.
I don't want to be too active. I could say soon.
Dude.
No, I really thought, I don't think, we didn't run into these problems. I think I told Tiffany we'd be done by the end of this month, but it's gonna run into a good part of August, I would say.
August?
Probably by the end of
Next
August.
month.
Well, that'd be good. It's just, you see the companies, what Midland or Midwest Asphalt and the Ribbies are over there putting in a brand new entrance to the frontage road, so it's more convenient for the casino. Which I don't, whatever, but there's nobody working over here at all.
There,
They're not.
I'm gonna
their
be truthful, I'm
machinery's not
gonna be possibly as truthful as I can possibly be on this. But when Dave was mayor and we needed that replaced, I really believe that Dave talked to Midwest and they gave us a great deal on cost. But it was, well, I think the cost came in way under what it would be if we would have forced them to set a time frame. I think, and then when they started, they found out they ran into a lot of problems. One of the problems with that bad sub base was it's believed that it was like that when the road was originally put in, and that's what helped it fall apart. So now they're having to dig all that out, put all new rock in there to stiffen it up. They've tried bringing field plows in to air it out so to dry. It would never dry. It was wet clay. And clay, water don't penetrate clay. So the thing is that was put in that way originally, which helped deteriorate the road. So now they're going in trying to correct past construction so it'll last longer. So, and it's just, it has been a nightmare.
Time consuming.
We share the same frustrations.
No, thank you.
Trust us.
It hurts us too, because the law enforcement, fire department, ambulance service, because that's, someone brought up about fire truck down there in that end of town. Well, that station was created because we had railroad tracks. Well, now we got overpasses, so we supposed to be able to get any part of town without no problem. But the frustrations with everybody, even up here, but they just keep running into problems. So hopefully by the end of August, that thing's open and people are traveling on it.
Thank you. For this year?
Hold your breath.
I got one more question.
You do what you can do.
What about the walking bridge on Jefferson Street? Is that gonna be replaced or are they just totally doing away with that?
We don't have any plans to
No
replace
plans
it
for
right
it.
now.
Oh, well.
We've got marked off Washington, Atwood, Lincoln, the side street. Where we're gonna start tearing that up. I don't know. Amber's got it marked and a couple other companies. They did a little bit of digging today. When are we gonna
Are we
tear the
doing any
street up?
seal coat?
Probably the gas main.
What we did today is what we planned on doing. It's done.
That's it?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
No, we had a sinkhole.
Oh, yeah, big something.
Yeah, had a joint bad on like.
Okay.
I didn't know, so I asked.
Now you know.
Thank
It's
you.
good.
That's why I asked.
That's
Well,
exactly
luckily
right.
Doug was here because the street guy wasn't here tonight. So luckily Doug was here, so he could answer that.
Yeah, thanks, Doug.
Fix the problem today.
Anybody else? Oh, where am I at here?
Oh, my
Endless
God.
summer ban.
Oh, no, I covered down the next one.
I don't want to sound odd, but isn't that the wrong date?
No, it's the right one. It's for next year, but we have to,
Oh, 24. Never mind, I didn't know. Or need a motion to get endless summer ban for July 6th, 2024.
So.
they're really good.
I guess if I read all the way down to the end.
All right, Bob,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Virgil,
Yes.
Vanessa. Yes. Ryan.
Yes.
Yes.
Bid openings for public works surplus items.
Genie left.
Genie lift, Virgil steamroller.
Put a bid in for you,
Yeah,
Virgil.
but
You're
we
welcome.
don't have a steamroller. You know, it is, we don't have a steam roller. It's a pneumatic roller.
Virgil, I put a bid in for you for 12,000. You're welcome.
Still cheaper than what we spent on this. Could have bought 2 new ones.
How much are those things?
They do put it on.
No, the rollers.
Rollers?
Yeah.
How much?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Those are like- Yeah.
Rollers are heavy. Should have over. Jimmy, the papers.
We paid for it.
10:57, that's about 11.
No, it's not.
45 is 10:24. Look at him, so I'll try and remember to ask. Again.
They wanted to make sure their bid didn't get lost.
I don't know what it's saying. They told us originally that the complaint was there and that they were working fine. And then go back on it and say, no. Problem. We gotta read them. Haven't seen it. All of them? Yep. You know.
All right, have a bid for $5,111.00 from Rick Wright.
For what? The
This
genie
is
lift.
The genie lift. Dan Chandler, $4,700. Dan Smalley, $7,700. Aaron Snyder, $3,600. Austin Trucking, $3,275.
That it?
Yep. So your
The
highest,
7,700 from Dan Smiley is the highest bid for the lift. I need a motion to accept this. Yes.
hold on.
And we need like 4 or 5 more of those.
All right, Bob,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Virgil,
Yes.
Vanessa, Ryan.
Yes.
Mike.
Yes.
For the roller.
Okay.
All right. We got a lot of bids for that one too.
Yeah,
Little
we've got a
sheets,
lot of
12,000.
You can buy it, we can borrow it.
Keep it over there.
Rick Wright, roller bid,
So your office is next.
$2,111.
How much?
2,111.
Your business.
Oh.
I got outbid.
And you're. That would be real quick for you. Must be the same person.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Somebody came back and we didn't know.
It does say sealed
bid.
bids.
One of the.
It really sells.
Aaron Snyder, $3,400.
Scott Mitchell.
I'll just go borrow one from work. Why do I need to? That's what I did.
Dan, $1,731.
Yes.
Dan Smalley, $5,100.
That's it.
Next is this board table. I'm big.
We need to
Going on
meet
eBay
this
next
guy.
week.
Dan Smalley, $3,500. Yeah, he put in 2.
We get 2 bids on the
Yeah.
same thing?
Just add them together.
He's still the one on the.
Yeah.
We did both did that.
All right.
Dan Smalley, $5,100. Need a motion?
Moved. Again, before the heat rise.
All right, your motion, second,
Thank you.
Bob.
Yes.
Scott.
Yes.
Virgil.
Yes.
Vanessa. Ryan.
Yes.
Air compressor. Oh,
Oh, at least he gave me a little. he gave me a little right here. Huh?
TJ's walking in there.
Is he?
Hi, TJ.
Aaron Snyder, $3,300.
I really don't know.
I doubt it.
Should have made it clear.
I did when I was on vacation. You guys made me.
Mhm, I did too, remember?
Mhm.
Dan,
Take that out of the motion.
yeah, Dan Smalley, $2,200.
Construction yard.
I did, and she said that I get 2 weeks off paid plus a vacation paid since you took my other one away from me.
I don't think we, speaking with.
Dan Smalley, $6,600.
Dan, you better get it. Time to get off 3.
All lines.
I'm liking it. Off the roof.
Rick Wright, $1,111.
3/4 inch plywood.
$25,000.
Membrane and seal it.
My turn. Seal. My turn.
I apologize. I messed up and had a cup of coffee before the meeting.
Wait a minute, wait a minute.
Roll it and seal it.
That was 600.
Yeah, sure.
You need to take it out there, drive on with it there.
Yeah, we already got a spot. For a year.
You got all, small, you got all.
A weekend.
He's probably gonna have a hot tub in the back end of
There you
it.
go. Got this one.
We ain't gonna get it.
You guys.
Air compressor.
Yeah.
I like them kind of movies.
We got $1,000.
I like them kind of movies.
$400. And
I spent too many hours up there as a kid.
what happened to them?
Molly.
I loved it.
Dad would just sit there.
That was on the left. It was actually on the left.
They got a nice area there.
Clear.
That was power hookup, didn't it?
Yeah.
Wow. Over and done.
He didn't get
Most people.
air compressor, he only had 1,200.
The bid of $3,300 from Aaron Snyder for the air compressor, the highest bid. Big move.
No, no, that's 2 weeks. He did. It's not.
He didn't get it on here.
They work on it in Moldy Bay.
All right, Bob,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Virgil.
Yep.
Yes, Ryan.
Yes.
Mike.
Yes.
All right.
That's what we were.
Thank you.
Drank coffee too, did you?
I know. Always gets brought up occasionally.
Okay.
You ready? Tiff, would you like to explain the billboard agreement with Lamar?
Okay, so we've been talking to Lamar because we have a restaurant hopefully coming to the site just north of Dollar General. There's a billboard in the way and we would like them to move that. So we've kind of come to an agreement, if everybody's okay with it, that they will be, and it will be no cost to the village, no cost to the developer, if we allow them to put a digital billboard there. Same, just be one face now instead of one on top of the other, 25 feet. We've talked to the restaurant that is coming. They're okay with it. This is our best option for no cost, and then moving it somewhere where nobody else will probably ever build. Because it's close to it's close to Route 1, and it's, the lot is kind of funny shaped, so it kind of narrows in.
The sign's gonna go on the side of Dollar General up toward Route 1 where the sign will be put. And it won't be higher than the building,
They're applying for a permit.
and it's be digital, and they'll be able to have 8 advertisement on it at once. And when we discussed with them the other day, I basically asked them, or basically told them the way it's gonna have to work out is we want 20 hours of free advertisement.
20 weeks.
20 weeks of free advertisement, I'm sorry, 20 weeks of free advertisement every year for new businesses coming in, they would advertise for 1 week. For functions the village is having, they would advertise free for 1 week, or 1 week.
Yes. We have to let them know in advance so the board, if it's filled up, they can't.
And we're gonna create, I don't know how to put this, a little sliver of property or an alleyway that the city will own and maintain to give them access to this billboard.
That'll be, that on the south side.
North side. Remember where the little white house used to be, Gary?
Yeah,
Okay, right there, but up against the building up towards
yeah.
Route 1. The restaurant's taking up the rest of that area.
You gotta get the permit from IDOT for the sign.
They've started applying.
They're working on all the permits and everything right now, so. And the client signed, the developer signed. We had a big sign battle going on here of height. Well, anyway, with curves up, the way IDOT section that property off at a diagonal, the restaurant sign would actually be back further off Route 1, but they could also, they're gonna make it high enough that people coming northbound on Route 1 could see their sign above the store.
Culver's is. The restaurant is.
Well,
Y'all knew it.
I don't think he has a problem with it.
city administration.
We're negotiating with Culver's.
I think everybody knew it.
But anyway, we need a motion that once we come to this agreement, that we can go ahead and go forward with it.
No move.
Second.
Bob,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Virgil,
Good.
Vanessa,
Yes.
Ryan,
No,
Mike.
Yes.
well, I don't like the sign there.
Well, what we're hoping is, one, it's going to, actually, it'll draw to the restaurant. But the free advertisement and advertisement for new businesses coming in free for a week.
And it was either that or start eminent domain proceedings on them because we were locked into a 30-year contract
Yeah,
agreement. I mean,
that was before me and Andrew agreed on it.
no, it was the people who owned the property before us. who
Well,
signed
the
it.
problem of it is, if we got into that battle, we may lose the rest. So,
I'm just telling you, I voted no because I don't like the sign. You guys made your decision.
Need a motion. Needs a motion to put out bids for the new ambulance station to be built.
Good.
I think we need to
We didn't have plans for sure yet.
just kind of modify let's maybe clarify what we're looking to do and we can talk about it, but I think we need to put it out to an architect, let Tom do his thing and put it out to an architect with the plans that Butch has put on paper, put an architect with it, and then with our specs, then send it out for bid.
So, okay, so what we need to do then, I need the motion to send the preliminaries to an architect for final drawings.
There you go.
It's all time.
With
guys.
Tom's got. I think you
Good
guys,
with that.
you got some people that,
That's something I can help with.
That's Trump then.
oh, we want to build it right for longevity.
Well, we're still gonna need the motion because it's gonna cost the architect.
I'll motion.
Mike made it, I'll second.
Where, Bob,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Virgil,
Yes.
Vanessa,
Yeah.
Ryan,
Yes.
Mike.
Yes.
Well, that you can't say yes.
You good? Okay, we need to go into executive session to talk about
Personnel.
employee.
Motion.
I'll make a motion to go in executive session.
Second.
Lori seconded.
You second.
Back in 45.
Hang on.
Hey, Gary?
Oh, I do, I gotta call him. Bob, Scott,
Yes.
Virgil,
Yes.
Vanessa, Ryan,
Yes.
Mike.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Vote no.
Everybody, look at
I motion, we return back to regular session.
already.
You didn't say.
That's what you get for saying.
Bob.
Yes.
Scott.
Yes.
Virgil.
Yes.
Vanessa. Yes. Ryan.
Yes.
Mike.
Yep.
Yes, here. Action from executive section, but nothing really. We're gonna set up a meeting. Need a motion to adjourn?
So move.
So,
Bob.
yes.
Scott.
Yes.
Virgil.
Yes.
Vanessa. Yes. Ryan.
Yes.
Mike.
Yes.